Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to make an attempt to change the intermediate shaft bushing in this 383 without tearing the engine apart. A buddy of mine, Bill at BC Auto Machine here in Prescott, did a really nice job building me a tool. Huge shout out to him that's going to make this happen without tearing the engine down. So without further ado, let's dive in. Alright, so to get this thing out of here, that's going to be the tough part. I'm going to run a tap into it, okay? 9/16 coarse thread, which is a 12 thread pitch. So we're going to run 9/16 12 tap into this thing. I'm sorry, my hand's in the way. It's going to be a lot of that because I don't have anybody else to hold the camera for me. So, yeah, you might ask, what about the shavings this is creating? It's gonna go down the hole, and I'm gonna show you how I'm gonna get them out. However, we may, if I'm not satisfied with it, pull the oil pump and then we can just wash the hole out. It's a nice thing about these big blocks is the oil pump is external, 4 bolts, and it's off. Only thing we gotta do is get a gasket. I have one, but really don't want to break open a full set steel gasket out of it, but I will if I got to. The key here is we need to run this tap all the way through this bushing. We need good thread engagement because it is just soft bronze, and if you only get a couple threads on it, this won't work. So, and we got our tap run down in there. I can feel it's not cutting anymore, so it's already cut all the way through. I know I keep putting my damn fat hands in the way, but not a whole lot I can do about that. I apologize. So far, I don't see any shavings coming off the top side here. So that I'm happy with. What I don't want to do is drop the tap in the engine. That would suck. I'd have to pull the pan, retrieve it. That's what we're trying to avoid, is major disassembly. All right, it's tapped. Now, here's the fun part. So what we have here is a piece of all thread that I've cut and cleaned up the ends of. It's 9.5 inches long. I made it a little longer than it needs to be for this B block, so it can be used on a small block as well, or an RB, you know, 440, 426 wedge, 413, or a Hemi. I really wouldn't recommend doing this way on a small block for the simple fact that you're gonna lose shavings into the pan. There's just no getting around it. On this big block, they're gonna go down the tube that's cast into the block and land on top of the oil pump, and we're gonna be able to suck them out here with a vacuum line here in a minute once we get this bushing out. So this is 7/8 nut, or I should say it's a 9/16 12 nut. It fits a 7/8 wrench, and we are just gonna run this nut down. I forgot to tell you, this piece here is actually just a seal and bearing installer out of a kit that I have. The guy could spend a bunch of time and go try to find him a hardened washer, thick one that fits and won't fall through the distributor hole, but I chose not to do that because I've got this bearing and seal driver kit that I can just use part out of. I didn't measure it, but I will. Once we get done here and thought about it, I'll measure it and I'll let you guys know what the diameter needs to be. So you can, if you want to build one of these tools for yourself, you can just go get you a washer. Or if you got a bearing and seal driver kit, just do like I did and use one of the inserts out of it. Man, this is going to save a whole bunch of time. And it's going to save, in turn, going to save the customer a whole lot of money. Or if you're doing this yourself on your own rig, it's going to save you a whole bunch of money. Now that bushing is about 1 inch long, so try to quit banging the wrench on everything, making so much racket. So we just got to pull her out about 1 inch, and you'll feel it when it comes out. And there we go. There's that worn out son of a bitch that was causing all of our timing problems. Now let's go ahead and clean the mess up. You might be able to see down there the shavings from tapping it just kind of landed right there, all in the recessed area where that bushing fits in the block. So what I've done is I'm actually going to use the same bushing driver. Piece of 3/8 rubber fuel line stuck onto a piece of nylon 3/8 tubing. And this is going to go onto my shop vac here. Just like this. And when I turn the thing on, the vacuum will just keep it attached. So let's go ahead and suck this mess out of here. See there, we're on top of we're bottoming out on the top of the oil pump. And we're getting some oil. And the oil kind of making the stuff want to stick on there, but we got most of it. So now, I'm going to take spray a little brake clean down there. Maybe. Yeah, I'll change the oil again because it's going to get contaminated with the brake clean, but that's fine. This engine had so much gas and oil before, it's probably a good idea to change it again anyhow. But anyways, that brake clean, what it's going to do is thin that oil and that's making them chips stick in there and let us get the rest of them out. Looks nice and clean from what I can see. Just to be 110% sure, I'm gonna run my borescope down that hole, make sure I don't see nothing glistening back at me. Remember, we're looking for that bronze. I don't know how well you can see that. Probably not real good. Usually let me turn this light off. Don't see any bronze in there. Actually, yeah, I do. A little bit sitting there on top of that oil pump. So I'm gonna give it the old suckaroo one more time. A little more brake clean, see if we can't get some more of that out of there. And this time I'm going to go at it with a little bit smaller tube so we can kind of slosh that around a little better. All right, hopefully we're done making noise now. Let's go down that hole with the borescope one more time, see what we see. And that is more better. No more shiny shit. Now for the fun part. Putting a new one in. This is the tool that my friend Bill made for me. Just turned it out real quick on his lathe. It's going to go into the bushing like so. And the bushing is going to collapse a little bit when we drive it in, so that's why it's a little bit loose on there. If that was a tight fit, what would happen is you drive it in, and then the damn tool would be stuck. So I'm going to put a glob of grease on the end of it so the bushing don't fall off, and we're going to drive that sucker in there. All right, so we got our red grease on the end of our tool. Bushing stuck on there. And it ain't wanting to fall off, so we're in good shape. Might help if I get this thing in frame so you can actually see what's going on. Now, we just need to get her in position. And this is going to be the fun part. Might have to move the camera because I ain't gonna be able to swing the hammer. Shit. Kind of want you guys to see this. Yeah, you probably ain't gonna see much from there, but okay, that's about the best I can do. We want to make sure we got a straight shot in. You hear that? She's bottomed in there. And the bushing remover, or installer rather, come out nicely. Get you back in frame here so you can see what's going on. And there we have it. Success. Now, I didn't show you guys this before, but here's our old shaft. Listen to that. You hear how that's my fingernail against that rough son of a gun. There was so much play in that stupid thing. Don't know what caused that wear like that. It's supposed to be a fresh engine. I don't know if whoever built the thing, if they didn't change the bushing, or they did change the bushing and they put this old worn shaft back in with it, or who knows what the hell happened, but it was a mess. Now here's a very good condition used one that I had in my stash. And look at that, there's nice and smooth. Can't catch my fingernails on nothing. Anywhere on it. This one's going to be in good shape. We're going to go ahead and use it. I'm going to spray it off and put a little assembly lube on it, and then we're going to stick it down in there and see how she fits. All right. We got a good amount of lube on the gear. Still see oil on the camshaft too, so we're in good shape there. Didn't hose that all the way with the brake cleaner. Get a screwdriver and get that thing timed the way I want it. Come back at it here with a shorter screwdriver. Nope. Yeah, that's where I want it. Look at that. No more side play. I mean, it's got its normal clearance in there, but no more slopping back and forth. I think I'd call this a success. Well, that was pretty cool, actually. I've replaced a lot of them bushings in my day, but never done one in the vehicle in a fully assembled engine like that. And like I said, I don't think I'd attempt to do it in a small block, simply for the fact that it's an open hole down at the bottom, and it's gonna go down in the pan. The junk is gonna go down in the pan. You have no way of retrieving it. So your mileage may vary with that one. I wouldn't recommend it. I'd pull the pan. Anyhow, I hope you all got something out of that. We all learned something from this. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Have a good one. Later.